His name's Rhapsody. My name is Sneaky Teak, and this is Rhaps and Teak Take a Peek, back for another week. I almost slipped away. There's too many words with the same syllables. Back for another week this week with Astrea, six-sided oracles, which I'm very excited to play. I'll tell you about it in a minute, but before then, Rhapsody, how you doing, boss?
Hey, Oracle. Doing well. Yourself?
Hey, six-side. Doing really well. I'm doing awesome. Seriously, I'm really excited because, maybe peek behind the Wizard of Oz curtain or whatever. Rito suggested that I play this game quite a while ago, and then the demo fell off of Steam. And so I missed it, and I was really excited to see it come back with this week's Going Rogue festival on Steam, and so I'm quite excited to play the game. I have not had a miss yet on that front. Any game that Rito has only suggested a couple games to me, and I've enjoyed all of them, so I trust this line immensely.
As well you ought. In fact, in that same period of time when the demo came out, Rita also recommended it to me. And then I went and played a short period of it, and I was like, this is perfect for Take a Peek. I mentioned it to you, and then it went off the demo.
Yep.
But it's bad.
And honestly, I'm excited to get into more. I like this exploration of bringing dice into this general milieu of deck building and roguelike. There's a lot of tangibility there, and we've talked about this before with Dicey Dungeons and with Circadian Dice and all these.
Yep.
We've actually played a few games that have dice in them, and I think it's a really compelling game mechanic. But perhaps I'm putting the wagon before the horse. Should I introduce the game?
Please do.
So this week we're going to play Astrea Six-Sided Oracles, or at least the demo of it. The game is not yet fully released, but you can play the demo alongside us on Steam, at least for the next day or two. Steam says, an all-new dice deck building roguelike, Astrea has you chart a path through the ruins of a lost civilization as one of 6 brave oracles. Using an ever-changing deck of dice and enchanted sentinels, purify waves of corrupted foes and a decayed goddess to save the star system. And I'm sure that we're all excited to save the star system. That being said, this tells me very little about what exactly we do in this game, and so we'll have to get in to figure out what exactly a dice deck building roguelike is. So that's the plan.
That is actually something as well. Like, I was going to mention this when you mentioned the dice deck building roguelikes. We have seen them, right? Dicey Dungeons, we've played Circadian Dice, we've played a couple others in that general realm. And there is so much more shared by every game that calls itself a deck building roguelike than by any game that calls itself a dice building roguelike.
Yes, they're all totally different. Sometimes you're building a literal machine out of dice. Sometimes you're literally building the dice. Yes, they're very different. Yeah, absolutely.
I will just take a second to note, as part of the demo and the fact that they are not released, this is not necessarily a reflection of the final polish of the project.
Coming soon.
I usually immediately offer the script, but I've spent too much time in the distant past.
This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world in a distant past. Okay, go ahead. This is
in a distant past, Astrea gifted these children. Became known. I'm just trying to do it as slow as possible so I can get to the next line. These children became known as.
Can we edit in the Wind Waker music in the back of this and then just let it loop for like 6 hours? And so
the watch time.
Imagine the views.
Thus begun the Starlit Age, an era bathed in light and blessed with Astrea's celestial gifts. Our general understanding of the world will be a little marred, obviously. The mechanical understanding will still be there, though unexpectedly Astrea went silent. Exactly. Worried about our absence, the oracles decided to investigate an anomaly was noticeable in the Star Mother's heart. I believe it will initially set us up in a campaign where 2 characters are going to be speaking to one another as well. Afraid of what could happen, they devised the creation of a towering monument in the capital of the 6th world, Aquarius. One that would remove the anomaly.
It's funny, a few of these lines feel like they went real fast, and then sometimes there's like a huge pause.
But they found that below the light there was fire, and below the fire there was darkness. Astrea's heart fell into Aquarius, and a fiery cataclysm had been unleashed, engulfing the entire star system and corrupting the souls of the weak-willed. That day became known as the Crimson Dawn. It'd be hilarious if we just did like a whole book.
Yeah, it turns out 16 hours later. That's what I'm saying with the Wind Waker thing. That intro was way too long. Yeah.
Still, Astrea's gift remains scattered across the world. It's possible to purify her dark influence, but the ones who can manipulate it were not present anymore.
They've even got the... Oh, wait, is that a squid? What? Who are these? They look like
Encroaching
squid.
darkness.
Okay.
After a long silence, echoes of the ancient cataclysm are once again surfacing and threatening to swallow the persisting worlds. That sounds like a final line to me.
I see Anubis. Nope.
With this better corruption, the once lost Astrariums awakened and started calling descendants of the Sacred Order something. Guided by the mysterious call, they set out on a journey to the sixth world in a final effort to defend all they've ever known. That sounds super final.
That's gotta be the last line. There's just no doubt.
Sorry,
loading. It's loading more books. Okay, it's loading the game. Hey, Astrea devs, I will do a voiceover for that intro for free. I will never make this offer again for any dev.
I'll pay you. I'm raising his offer.
I will do this for free. I will give you a voice over for that intro, but only if you let me wear a green tunic while I do it. Okay, I mean, like, and I need you to include a picture of that in the back somewhere.
just like a 16:9, but it's done in horror. Sorry, it's done vertically. It's just like a photo, and it's got like the little timestamp down in the bottom corner in red, like 11/11/2022. It's perfect.
Oh, yep, there he is. That's Teak, just cosplaying as Link. Okay.
We've one character unlocked, Mooney, the Astral Disciple.
Wow. Mooney looks like perhaps they're an owl. Shall I tell us about Mooney?
Please do.
We're getting really... Mooney, the Astral Disciple. Profession, academic. Astrarium, Noctuan Grimoire. Planet, well, Noctua, duh. Coming from a lineage of scholars, Mooney has always searched for the lost knowledge of the star system. Her Astrarium was passed through generations as a family relic. With her wisdom, she's capable of improving dice and turning adversity into advantage. Play with Mooney.
Here we have something quite familiar.
There are circles and lines. Those are familiar shapes.
Circles and lines. We can start with either the Star Telescope, gain a Star Blessing, a passive effect with a lower power, or a Black Hole Telescope, a powerful passive effect with a drawback.
Yeah, well, you're going to go to the Black Hole then.
Absolutely.
Start big and then get smaller. That's got to be the play.
And, you know, especially if you're doing it at the start, you have the ability to capitalize on the strength of it and draw back, minimize, etc. so on.
Yeah, but you don't want to over-optimize too early. Okay, what do we got?
I do like the layout of their tooltips. They're quite good. Forbidden
Looking
Atlas.
like star chart maps. It's very consistently designed, right? Yeah, they did a good thing with this.
Draw one additional die per turn. At the start of each turn, gain 3 Doom, and Doom increases your dice corrupt amount by X.
Which does something.
Will be explained relatively soon. Draw 1 additional die per turn, and at the start of each turn, add 3 wound hexes into your draw pile. So a hex is a negative die that stays into your dice pool until the end of the battle. So akin to a curse, you may imagine.
Wow.
A wound hex die is a die with high corrupt faces and a single purify face. So if you roll it, you most likely get corrupted.
Okay.
And then finally, the Silent Scarf. 1 additional die at the beginning of each turn, and gain 1 silenced. For the next X turns, all of your virtues are disabled.
Virtues. Do we know what virtues are yet?
I do, but I won't preempt the game in explaining them because I will misexplain them, and that will make them harder to understand.
This is really fascinating to me because the other two, I'm partly driven to Silent Scarf, and it's partly because I don't have a sense of how large our dice deck will be or how big of a deal corrupt mechanics are, but I do know how good it is to have 1 more die in general, which is pretty good. You know, we can get this out of the map as well, but then it's interacting with this other mechanic where we're diluting our deck, and so I don't know, let's go Silent Scarf. I love it. Okay. And now we'll be silenced, and that'll force us to understand what a virtue is, because we can't do it for a round.
It will do. And now we get 2 dice that we get to pick up to give us our beginning run.
Okay, wow. Safe, balanced, and risky dice. And does it show every single side of these dice and their different
Yes.
effects? Okay, so this is really cool, actually. You know, if you really want to lean into the dice deck builder part, then what we can think of, remember Rhaps Teak Ladder Streak? Remember Ladder Streak?
I do.
Remember Ladder? Do you remember the concept of cores? Do you remember talking about cores?
Yes.
Deck cores, right? I first heard this idea in Pokemon, weirdly, Pokemon competitive, the idea of building a core of your team and then expanding around that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could think about these as dice, or you could think about them as 6 cards. And that's actually a pretty reasonable way to think about this. And then you're not actually drafting a card, you're drafting a set of cards. You're like taking a booster pack, right? And so, but I guess that means we're also going to have to get more efficient at figuring out what the general theme is. And so first one says Quick Strike, second one says Scarlet Sigil, and last one says Serenity.
Yes.
So what do we have?
So we have differential faces of the Purify, deal 1 Purify to any target, and then draw 1 die. Both of those will activate if we roll that. And then all of these are Purify any target. There's Balanced, which has a mix of deal Corruption to any target, increasing from 1 to 3, and from 2 to 3 as well, Scarlet Sigil on any target, which creatures with Scarlet Sigil receive X Purify whenever you use a risky die.
Okay.
So, and these are risky dice, the ones that are mostly corrupt. Apply Torment to a target, apply Corruption to a target, or Serenity, which increases Purify received. So, effectively giving them a weakness or a vulnerability.
Okay, but it's not actually the symbol color which indicates to you that they're risky. It's the border color. There's a red border, subtle red and blue borders to this around the circle. That's actually kind of confusing, but now that I know it, I can see it, right? So the balanced one is exactly 3 and 3. The safe one has no risky sides, and the risky one has 4 risky sides. Got it. But this is interesting because all of the effects are Purify and Corrupt. I don't see like any do damage, or am I missing a? So, I don't see a single thing that's like block for 2 or do 2 damage. It's all in terms of these various status effects, I guess.
It will be for a period of time. Thankfully, the first battle will come up relatively soon to explain to us why we care about Purify and Corruption.
Okay. Well, so I have not nearly enough information to make this decision, and so I am at peace with any of these 3 dice. Do you have something you'd like to science?
I think we should play high risk, high reward for the first run at the absolute least, and then the second run won't have any dialogue in it at all.
I like that. I like that. Okay, and then another die.
New sigils. The new Moon Ray deal 1 Purify to any target for each safe die you own. Not in play.
Oh, wow.
Just total.
Okay.
3 Corrupt on one of the other faces. Deal 2 Purify to all targets. AoE Purification. AoE Corruption. And then risky, gain 3 Moonlight. Whenever you use a Hex die, deals X Purify to all targets. Has 2 of those for 5, and then increasing amounts of Corruption.
Oh, that would have been really cool with if we had taken the one that gave us Hex Wound die.
Yes.
Okay, so your dice start to self-synergize, like, and in terms of, you don't have to even play them adjacently, like it's counting total numbers in your deck and stuff. That's interesting.
For a lot of them, it will.
Okay. So we're really going to just take 2 risky die in a row? Well, we don't have
to. I do like balance as well. This looks like nice with AoE.
Yeah, let's do that one. And it's got a mass heal on it, it says, sure. Oh yeah, that's giving you the theme. It's a mass heal. Okay. Okay. This is interesting because I definitely feel that I definitely feel the novelty of, I don't know what these things mean yet. So click on them until you know what I mean? It's like we definitely weren't equipped with all the information to understand Corrupt and Purify, but I actually like that. I think that's fun. Okay. So we have a
now it feels like I could know.
I'm seeing Zelda everywhere. This reminds me of the like automaton enemies around the castle in Breath of the Wild, whatever those guys are called. You know, the like guardians or whatever.
Ancient guardians.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, so what do we have going on here? 22 health enemy that just dealt 3 corruption. Okay.
So the enemy is going to be dealing 3 corruption to all targets. They themselves have over corruption. Player corrupt deals 3 corruption to you. So if we corrupt the enemy too many times, we will trigger their effect of over corruption, and they'll deal damage back to us. However,
Okay,
we
so you
always
mean
have free choice. So this risky die, I could play on myself or on them.
interesting. Okay. Okay, and so if you play it on them, it's likely to corrupt them.
It'll
But then you
put
could
2
give
into
them a
their charge.
purify.
Then any more corruption will make them go off.
Oh, it gets rolled before you choose to play it?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. Okay, so this makes it more palatable to take spooky dice because you get to decide if you want to play them based on what occurs.
Not entirely true. So a negative face has to be played. This red border means I don't get away without playing it.
Okay. Okay, so you have to corrupt someone, and that can be a downside because if you corrupt them, it could have, as you showed, over corruption. Okay. Okay.
I thought the game was going to have
targets.
explained it by this point. I'm a bit surprised that it hasn't. It's possible I turned something off. Nope, don't look like it. I've seen the game explained.
We learned it on the fly. To be honest, this is more appropriate for us anyway, because if there were a tutorial, we would have tried to teach ourselves the mechanics just before the tutorial taught us the mechanics anyway. And so this is, this is more honest.
This is very true.
So you want to go ahead and corrupt them then? They're going to over-corrupt when they use their thing. And so we'll get to see if it loops, right? Because they'll do 3 to themselves.
Yeah, will the area deal to itself? I imagine it will.
I don't see why not.
Should we re-roll the risky die because it is on its worst possible face?
We could. We could.
Re-roll. Risky.
But what's the problem with doing corruption to them? I guess just that they have the over-corrupt?
Yes.
Okay. And now it's Serenity. Increases Purify received. And we're actually going to use that on them. Okay. So when you apply the Purify dice to enemies, it damages them? So are enemies like canonically corrupt?
Yes. So they've begun fully corrupt, and we've begun purified. They're trying to corrupt us, we're trying to purify them back. However, there will be plays, as I understand it, where we will want to intentionally corrupt ourselves, or corrupt the enemy, or things like that.
Okay, that's the primary conceit. Instead of there is health and there is damage, it's there's purification and there's corruption. And in general, you heal yourself by purifying and you damage enemies by purifying. And then corruption is the opposite. You take damage via corruption and enemies heal via corruption, but there may be exceptions. Okay, cool. Okay.
So what happened there is they dealt 3 in the AoE. They dealt 3 to us immediately. And then when they dealt 3 to themselves, they also did another over corruption and dealt 3 to us again. We had 1 light shield, blocked 1 damage, took 5 across here. If this goes down to the bottom, if your corruption meter is fully filled with corruption, you lose a heart. Hearts persist through battles, but you recover all of your hearts after defeating a boss. We have 3 out of 3.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Something about that bottom bar, like having such a countable number of little pips, just reminded me of the Griftlands negotiation system for some reason. I have no idea why. Griftlands came to my mind, but it did instantly. Okay, what is it getting marked for us? Is that basically a battle log that's on our pips? That's showing like how we got that damage taken, or?
So these are the virtues, the abilities we can't activate on the first turn because of Silent Scarf, but we can activate them past that point. And activating a virtue will spend some amount of our purification resource in order to cause that effect. I see.
Okay. So actually having those front loaded with the system is really strong. This downside is fairly substantial, actually.
It is.
Yeah, because these are at their best on turn 1 when you can use them to prime the pump. Okay. Okay. Well, we got a lot of corrupt die here, it seems.
We do indeed.
And we have to play them all?
We do. We absolutely do. So, unfortunately, hitting them with Corrupt will heal them as well as deal 3 corruption to us, so we are better off just playing them on ourselves.
But we have an ability, it looks like, to convert one of them, didn't we? Is that what you were looking? On the far right at the end.
Yes, Virtue. Convert 1 die from your hand this turn. You convert it from a Corrupt action to the same type of Purify action, which would be great, but I don't think we can cast that. Can we? No, we totally can.
Okay. And then we choose the die. Yeah, so now we can like damage ourselves and then heal it. and then damage ourselves.
Why was that available for us to do, though?
Yeah, because now we have like a grayed out pip.
That was already grayed out, I thought.
Oh, I don't know. I genuinely.
I'm going to try and reroll up to 2 dice and see what that will do here.
Why not? And now it's used up, and it didn't use any of our purification somehow? We would have expected it to spin too, right? Like, isn't that what we understood that to do?
Yes, yes. Maybe it's got a 2 cooldown?
Yeah, maybe that's what this. Maybe that's what that is. Maybe, well, and it could have been changed too from whenever you checked it out. Yeah, maybe this is turns until you can use this again, and that's the cost. So then we could use the other one too. We could totally roll another die. That's our virtue on the far left side.
We can. I wonder why would we want to limit ourselves from just playing these, like, this literally every turn? This one literally every turn. Would we?
Yeah, I don't see any reason to, right? It's not provided any benefit to the enemy that I can see. It's not cost us any purity that I can see. It seems like we should just be playing those things. I mean, it's the beginning of the run. We wouldn't expect to be losing a ton of hearts right away, so maybe we just are that powerful. Maybe we just are that powerful.
Mayhaps.
Okay. I now understand why risky dice are so risky.
Oh, but 7 purify to all enemies.
Take it. Click the cleave.
So good.
Click the cleave. Take the risk. We're gonna
25.
25.
Oh, these are straight up lose a heart and fully purify your corruption meter.
Oh wow. Yikes. Okay, so this is like, take this if you're sure that you can escape this hell. That could be a reason, actually. We asked, why would we not want to use our things every turn they're available? It might be because, like, we have to keep it to make sure we don't die to risky.
I like it.
Right? We have to make sure that Downfall Strike doesn't kill us. I kind of want to... Okay. I know that this is... So somebody said in our Shotgun King episode, I think something happened when they got the gun to where they quit thinking and playing methodically and just shoot gun instead. And something about these risky die is definitely putting me in the same mindset. I'm like, click red dice. It's the first run.
Exactly. I think especially for the first run, as we're figuring out the parameters and kind of nailing down the rules, it makes sense to play riskily a little bit.
What if it works? What if it works? What if we find that the demons were in our head all along and you can just click the reddest dice and you win, right? Like, that would be a really valuable learning if that's true.
Well, we're about to possibly be taught it because we have the choice between red die for 2 risky, 2 balanced on the green chest, or star shards. Great resource.
You know what? I don't know what star shards are, but I kind of want some star shards.
Let's get them.
And part of the reason is that we just got some really, really powerful dice, actually, right? At least in terms of the damage compared to the other stuff we have. 25 basically full kills the enemy if we roll that. Oh, does the one on the right permanently reduce a pip? Oh. Yo, we got the 25.
Does which, sorry, reduce a pip?
Does our right virtue convert permanently lose a max pip? Because see, it's still gray next to it.
It is. I think if I dealt one more purify to myself, I would fill that.
It would fill? Okay, so we don't have purity or corruption there right now, potentially. Okay.
However, we can just murder the enemy. They have boost, always draws a second die. We have literally just enough damage, so I'm just gonna
lethal.
Put up. Uh-oh.
This is why we take...
Blocks 2 corruption until the start of your next turn. That's fine.
Yeah, no problem.
Get purified.
The way they run away. The little hop and the escape. That's mad cute. All right.
Exceptionally. With balanced with the ability to draw as well as corruption to self. So this doesn't even give you targeting.
That's interesting.
Then we have risky with gain 2 doom, refresh your virtues. Doom increasing the corrupt amount on die. So strength for our corruption.
Yes, that's exactly what we want with only risky dice. That might be, this is the point where I engage my brain, right? If you're taking a very risky, heavy strat, you probably do want to avoid doom, because you are going to be having to apply some corruption, right? So
Yes. There's
so
also
do you want to
research.
take one, which is what's that?
Increases enhance effectiveness by X, and enhance gives you the ability to increase die of Purify 1 of any type to Purify 6. So,
Oh wow.
but we don't. Increases enhance effectiveness, but we don't have anything to enhance yet.
Right. We do, exactly. So maybe this is just balanced. An extra draw is really nice. Like half the time, this is self-replacing, so it's very takeable. What is that risky die? Acceptance.
Great question. Oh, yeah. So this is if you know corruption is good for you now. You've gotten over corruption being a problem.
Right. Then you can run this and, which we're not at.
We have convert, though, saving some of our difficult die.
That's actually another backup strat. Yeah, that's actually seems really clutch, right? Okay.
So we've got a forge shop over on the left and then a sentinel shop over on the right. Requires sentinels. Don't know what that is. Forge shop. Helps improve your dice pool. You can improve, destroy, or duplicate dice.
I like that. Let's do that.
Oh, we have to go for risky dice to get there. Oh, bugger.
Not like this.
Just embrace. It's so much corruption.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's a lot. And another downfall is a lot, too. So what's this regular risky?
This is Moonlight on self and then corruption to random targets.
But we don't have any hex die, to be clear, right? Not unless an enemy gives them to us.
Not yet,
a
no.
risky die is not a hex die. It's just a risky die. Okay. No, we can't have 2 downfall strikes, so we can't do it. Not at our current. Is it not unless there's a way to discard or something? Like, do we have a way to cycle?
Not that I know of yet. I would say we can convert a lot of these to be just big hits.
That's true. As long as we're really carefully managing our virtue and dice, you're committed. You're fully okay.
I mean, we can skip. There is an option behind you to skip for 10 gold.
There is no skip option. Oh, they pay you to skip in this game? Oh, okay. Well. Risk, reward.
Forge Corrupt. Change a die face from your hand to Corrupt 12 permanently.
Oh, man. We are, we have made some decisions.
Bloody Moon Ray, deal 2 purify to an enemy for each risky dice you own.
Okay, there it is.
There it is.
This is what and we talked about this earlier, too. But we found the same thing for the opposite, right? Didn't we find one for the number of safe dice you own?
We did, yes. That's the first we've seen that cares about your riskiness. Hey, the Oracle is here.
What can I make with your star shards? You can make me a light shield. You can make me a draw. Does that say draw 3?
It does. Draw 3 dice.
What is that, a virtue?
So if we took that, I believe what we would do next is put it onto a dice.
Okay, so this is like a monster train enhancement system.
Yes.
The upgrade system for dice is this a replacement or is this an amendment? Let's find out.
Let's have a look. Yep. Which do we want to put it on?
Draw 3 seems crazy. I don't have a strong opinion. It's only going to go on one face, presumably, no? Or is it going to go on the whole die?
It'll go on one face.
Okay. I feel like we should put it on... This is going to sound weird, but I think we should put it on one of our, like, smaller, less important, like, less effective die, like that balanced one that's in the top right there.
This?
Because we're going to be taking actions frequently on the dice that already have really big values, either converting them or discarding them. You know, we're going to be engaging with them in some way almost all the time, whereas we're just going to be casting this die. So if it happens to draw us 3, that's a good way to get it a little bit more value, right? But it says convert plus, so it's already been upgraded one time, perhaps?
Convert dice from any type of corrupt action to the same type of purify action. I worry that dissolve life...
Oh, wow, that's the convert one, okay.
Yeah, would still lose a life.
Yeah, that's my worry, right? Like, that we're amending. Absolutely. Oh, I see what you're saying, that's not going to convert this appropriately. Oh, man, we have
that's
so
my
much
assumption,
science to do.
but nothing going into it yet.
Do you want to just put the draw on the owl shield, actually? That's a starting dice.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
It's an effective removal of this die, right?
And then we can do the same with another if we wanted to spend 50.
How much do we have left? We're
50.
At 50, okay. Light shield. Hey, well, it's only light shield 1. Okay, that's pretty weak. But the other one just changes aside to 1 purify.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we wanted to reduce the impact of one of our risky die, but will they still be risky?
Yep.
Is the riskiness assigned at take?
Yes.
Okay, well then I don't actually mind that. I mean, right now we are really in danger. Converting one of the sides to just not be death. Like the one that's yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly.
Seems like a great idea
Nice.
to me.
Okay.
A normal battle yields 50 star shards in a chest, or a tougher battle, 100 star shards chest, star blessing.
Hardest fight.
Of course.
Only corruption. Hardest fight. Never stop.
Draw 2 25s on turn 1.
All right. We may have a turn to use a conversion or a reroll.
Boy,
We got to do the science. We got to do the convert science here. I think we should do it.
We do need to. We are also silenced this turn, so we won't be able to use any of our virtues, unfortunately. Let's use the...
Which is actually, for future runs, being silenced is particularly spooky if you're doing risky strats, right? Because a lot of what allows you to do risky strats is all of the fixing that you get from virtues, right? So, lesson learned. Okay.
I think it's not letting me play the balance die because it can't translate this into anything else.
There's no corruption to do. Okay, wow. Okay, so that is a particularly gnarly die. Like, really. And we can't re-roll it because of this turn. Oh, well, what are you going to do?
Oh, boy.
Enhance 1 die from any target? What happens if you enhance the self-kill die? Does it?
It doesn't give me the option to do that.
Okay, right, because enhance is just to 6 purify, okay.
Mm-hmm. They will also apply
enemies are
hidden to themselves, so they will deal corruption to all enemies, including one another, unfortunately, which is going to result in corruption coming out to us quite quickly.
Oh, okay. Does every enemy have this over corruption meter at the bottom, or is that no? No, because the second one didn't have one, right?
Yes, they have. Well, sorry, the second one did have one, I think, but it wasn't important.
Oh,
these ones just have different ones.
Okay, 5, 3, and 4. Got it.
Hmm.
Okie dokie. Well, I guess we start targeting one down. And we have no choice but to play this?
Yep. It won't let us end our turn until we do. You must use all
we knew we were
leave
taking
actions.
a hard fight. We just didn't know that we were taking a hard fight against ourselves. We thought it was the enemies.
There we go. That's my light shield.
Does that do anything to save? You're like, we still just lose a heart.
Not at all, no.
We do keep the light shield. That's nice. What was that? That was the convert die, and so it didn't work. That's actually really unlucky that we specifically rolled the one thing we couldn't convert there. Our deck is very heavily weighted towards risky dice.
From another perspective, however, it was actually exceptionally lucky because we did the science immediately. Now we know you can only convert the things that have a tangible response.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And we know that we can't convert that specific type of response, which is quite crucial, right?
Mm-hmm. We can, however,
okay,
convert 13 on the risky die.
What's the middle die again? What's that one?
This is area purifying. One purified to all enemies.
Okay. I'm starting to pick up the icons.
I think we should definitely purify that.
That looks like some dead enemies. It's pretty sweet. Almost dead. Do we... Oh, but we don't have anything else. Can we draw cards here, or is it not going to let us do that? Or what's the middle one?
Sorry?
Our middle virtue? Is that 5 area purify? Or 1? Wow, we can kill this one enemy, actually.
You know, I don't think these are a cooldown. Because this is roll 2 die. This is 5 purify. This is 1 die. So I think they might be unlocked by corrupting yourself?
Oh, okay. Or it tells you on the side, like, that looks like you can use that now.
Yeah.
You can totally,
it allowed me to as soon as I corrupted myself and then purified.
So you know what? Maybe it's, anytime the color underneath it changes, it becomes active again.
Man, I could have sworn they explained this to me the first time I tried it. Maybe I should have deleted all of my save data. Not that I had any.
I don't know. It's kind of fun to discover. I kind of enjoy discovering mechanics like this. I started playing. I got gifted a long time ago a copy of The Pedestrian. Have you played that game?
I've not, no.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it? So it's like a puzzle game, but it's a puzzle game. It's a really clever thing where you are a stick figure that's walking through, 2D puzzle worlds that you have to reorient, but they are also existing in a real physical world. And so you're like moving through subways and cities, and sometimes your 2D is connected to a 3D object outside. Anyway, it's a really clever game. But the reason why I brought it up is it doesn't tell you any of the mechanics, but if you zoom out from your current map, there will be like a television that's showing a clip, which through icons demonstrates the thing that you're supposed to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how this feels, right? Like, it's not telling us how exactly this works, but there's some clear iconography that we can play around and try to figure out.
I feel like
Go ahead.
I feel like a language researcher playing Tunic,
yes.
And you've just opened the menu and you're like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not touching this controller again until I work out the entire cipher of this language.
Did you play that, by the way? Is it good?
I haven't, but
okay.
Apparently it is quite good, yes.
Okay. I've only seen it peripherally. So should we use any virtues? Do we even need to on this turn? Like, can we derive value? It looks like our Purify 5 came back up.
It did indeed. They're going to apply a lot of doom to themselves. This one, they're effectively healing a huge amount.
Right.
Consistently.
Okay. And what's the 2 swirly? Which virtue is that?
I'll just heal myself effectively by 1. That is reroll up to 2 dice.
Okay, so we could have we can always reroll dice on a good turn just to try to, add some better choices.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like if we just rolled safely but pretty weakly. So that's good to know.
I love that they didn't even attack us.
They just are hanging out healing. And frankly, I can't blame them. If they let us live long enough, we will lose to ourselves. I mean, they're actually playing an incredible strat. So
1 purified all targets.
Right, like this is a turn where I'm looking at our hand and I'm like, are any of these dice actually stronger than this? Should we re-roll a couple of these dice to try to give them a better side? Just numerically, it feels...
So this is the most powerful that it can be, the starter die over on the left.
That's the starter die, so that's the problem.
That's downfall with...
We could re-roll it. Hey, but we have a conversion, so actually we could re-roll it.
Well, we couldn't. Because if we
conversion doesn't
re-roll...
work. We already did that science. Yeah.
We can, however, convert this to get another 3 over here, which is good.
Okay.
I think we can probably take a target out if we do a conversion. So we've got 3, 3, 5 from this. Takes us to a total of 11. No, we'll be short.
Just barely, though. And they'll be hurting. And they're doing what? 6 corrupt?
Mm-hmm.
To all targets? That's a lot. That's a lot.
And the other one's doing corruption. 8. So we will lose a heart as a result of that.
Is there a way out of this? What about the middle die? What if we re-roll the middle die? What is it? That's another starter die. So it's not going to get really any better than that.
Significantly worse, yeah. We can use the light shield to defend ourselves.
True, and then they'll stay alive, right? Okay. And we can't use the draw 1 right now for some reason, because we haven't gotten down that low yet. Right?
Yeah.
We think it's about cycling purity and corruption in order to power these up.
I think
maybe
so.
It's like a saw, and it's reciprocating saw.
Yeah, I almost want to know if I can use the same ability 2 times in a turn if I corrupt past it and then purify and then corrupt past it again.
Right, exactly. Which is science that we could very easily do here by corrupting ourselves. We'll certainly use the deal 5 at least, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then that'll also reveal, does this use up other virtues past it? No, we could still do the reroll. Okay. So it just, and look. It goes down to the bar, and then it pops up. Okay, so there's a little bit of a vertical movement. Yep, and then the corruption happened there. Okay. So I think this is the most compelling theory, right? This is basically Watcher Stance. Is every time the thing underneath it changes color, then it becomes available.
Yep.
And what we still have to test is if that's true during the turn of.
Boy, howdy, are we going to get the opportunity to?
We're about to do some science. Yeah, but the virtues are really powerful. Like, really, we have a lot of options on these turns.
All right, we should.
And that's
probably,
a huge die.
I think reroll these
that.
two.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, baby. Okay, we in here.
7 purified
Okay,
wall enemies.
So do you want to kill the front one, and then do 1 corruption to self and see if we can get back the reroll on this turn, just to do the science?
Yes.
Okay. I like that play a lot.
So killing the front one is then going to require us converting this balance die over here.
We can use the middle virtue, no?
Oh, we can, yes. If yeah, let's do that. No reason not to.
Kill him with the virtue. Seems like free damage. Especially if it turns out that corrupting ourselves right here gives us back our abilities. Which it very well might. It did. And we use that this turn. Okay. That's
Instantly
a cool
again.
system. Okay, so these turns are very high input, actually. It's quite complex.
Yes. The sequencing and amount of options you have is immense.
Like, I'm overwhelmed already, but in a good way. Like, an excited overwhelmed. Like, I'm about to go put my, Professor Hazmat suit on and buckle in.
In the end, it works out.
I also really appreciate that the icons are really consistent, but because they're all kind of, cosmic, right? They've got this like star theming. There's like little novas and stars and black holes and whatever. My brain's doing that thing to where I haven't looked at them long enough to start to differentiate them and assign them to what it is that they do. And so I'm like, oh, cool. You did 3 black hole to the enemy before getting nova'd, and then, you got the... It's just like, oh, look at the dice. They're making pretty colors on the screen. That's nice. Yes. Good.
I don't understand the shapes at all yet, but I understand the general color.
You get in there. You get in there and you do that thing.
Corruption purified. I think we also picked up a star telescope there that will be activated later. Convert every dice this turn.
Oh, are these rare dice? These seem very different than what we've seen. These seem...
They do seem particularly powerful.
Discard 1. Okay. That's a discard die.
There it is.
All right. I was like, is that draw 4? Okay, but this would allow you to discard negative effects as well. But that die is just otherwise kind of weak. Well, I guess it says Purify 4, right? The top 3 are decently effective. It's just the bottom 3 are like... Purify 1. What's the balanced one doing?
So the balance is purify to any target and apply 1 torment on a random target. So that could be any of the enemies, which would make them heal more effectively, or you, which would make them kill you more effectively.
Right, okay. And hence the balance, balance in a cosmic sense. Okay. And then the risky one has some Pokeballs?
Yes. Elegiac Comprehension. Convert every dice this turn, and then self-corruption or AoE corruption.
Convert every die? Okay. That's actually kind of cool for us.
It is.
I mean, we do have a really risky deck. Like, we can literally convert. That's kind of fun. I'm honestly fine with any of these. I don't have a horse in this race. I don't.
I think that's a good idea.
I have 3 horses in this 3-horse race.
I have so many horses in this. I can't lose. I bought all the horses so I couldn't lose.
Yeah. I'm even the track. I'm actually the race horses and the track.
I'm every jockey. I have to straddle far.
I'm the starting gates. I mean, most of my roles are pretty mundane, to be honest, but I'm in this race in a real way.
We have Enhance finally here for just increasing a Purify 1 to Purify 6.
Right. Which we've seen the one of.
We have a lot of them.
What's the white star on the safe on the left?
This is Self-Serenity. Gain a Serenity, so you heal yourself more effectively.
Okay, it's the opposite of Torment. Got it. Uh-huh.
I think Balance is a good choice here.
The symbols. Okay, I'm learning. I opened the fire hose, but then I just tried to put it directly into my forehead, and so I still have to keep moving the fire hose around. But we'll find the input. We'll find it. Yeah, I like this balance. I'm with you. I like it.
We did it. Time for our star blessing.
Okay. a ring, a robe, or a earring? Spell tag? What is the bottom left?
The bottom left is Starfield Veil.
A veil.
At the start of your battle, refresh your virtues. They're ready for the turn you can't use them.
It's just not right. It's just not right. That's cruel. Okay. And
Wait!
then the ring? Wait
a second.
Wait
Look
a minute. No, it's actually so good. Wait 1 minute. Wait 1 minute. Does this completely offset the negative in our build-in? Does this get rid of the one thing which can kill us?
I think so, actually. It says ignore any effect that disables your virtues.
We have to sign. Well, we should read the others just because, you know, new game.
Should do.
Stardust Garb. Every three time you deal Purify, apply 1 light shield on a random target. Okay. And we know what light shield does is block some amount of corruption, but random target. And then Zenith Ring. While your corruption meter is at the last point of Purify, deal 2 additional Purify. What?
So if you're playing riskily and you only have 1 point of Purify between you and taking another point of damage, yep.
Okay. Okay. So canonically they call that a corruption meter, and the corruption is filling and the Purify is emptying. I guess the Reddit saying. Okay, got it. Let's take the scarf. Let's take the veil. I mean, come on, that's crazy. If that totally offsets our negative, that's so good, right? And then on turn 1 we cannot die. Yes, please. Destroy 1 die. We can get rid of some of our stinky starter dice.
We can indeed. We also have choices further up. Duplicate any non-epic die.
Do we have any epic dice?
One
of the ones we just picked up, maybe?
Don't necessarily know.
Maybe we should go to find out.
Maybe
like, get a removal, get a duplicate?
Oh, epic die is on the gold chest on the other side, so it's probably a more unique reward. I mean, maybe we want to get an epic die, because it's choice between ultimately an epic die or a star blessing.
Well, either way, we want a removal, right? Oh, no, if we're going through the middle, then we might actually need star shards.
Yes, so do we want to hug one side, hug another side? Like, this is the no income, no expenditure side. This just all does stuff.
I kind of like that side. Because I like getting rid of one of our starters, and I like another star blessing. The star blessing we just got seems like it's pretty good. Okay. Where are our starter dice? Aha.
It's a pretty bad enhancing dice over there.
Yeah, enhance, it seems like one of our weaker effects given the nature of our dice. Oh, wow, we have a lot of starters. Oh! Wait, we have a lot of starter dice.
How
many dice does it start you with? And they're all different. They're like kind of substantially different.
Pretty substantially.
Stellar Cleanse. Stellar, you want to delete a Stellar Cleanse?
I'm totally fine with that, yeah. Actually, no. The only reason being that we just picked up a card for not converting. Where is the other one? For enhancing, not this one, but we have another card for enhancing. Right. Did we not? Did we not pick up the card for? Wait, hang on. If we didn't,
there's
we
the converting one. We're fine. I thought we did pick up one more with some.
Oh yeah, it's literally the final one. They enhance from Purify 1 of any type to Purify 6, and this will almost always roll a Purify 1.
So you want to do like Arcane Purify instead? Actually, weirdly.
I think so, yeah.
Because it has no synergy with Enhance, and it's still fairly low numbers. Yep. That feels weird. It's like usually just the stronger strike, right? It's like we're removing strike plus, but in this case, I can see it. I think getting rid of any of the starters is going to be an overall improvement, so I'm totally at peace with that.
Yeah, it's definitely in that realm as well. Duplicate any non-epic die.
And we don't think we have any. Yet. What was Blood Moon Rays positive? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna. What does it mean when we? What is it?
Bloody Rhapsody. Moon Ray does 2 purifying to an enemy for each risky die we own, while increasing the amount of risky die in our deck.
I need an overlay. We could double that. That's actually kind of fun. Plus, the corruption sides are not that scary, right?
Yes.
That's the big thing, is that when it goes wrong, it doesn't go that wrong.
Fully agreed.
I feel like that's what we're doing. I feel like that's well aligned with what we're doing.
And then another
star telescope. This one's blue.
It has within the malicious orb, whenever you or your sentinels corrupt an enemy, deal purify into yo-yo.
Oh, that's cool.
So it'll heal you in response to the enemy becoming overcorrupt.
Cool.
Interesting.
That's cool. And we are going to be rolling corrupt a lot, and sometimes we'll need to use it. And so using it against an enemy, that's a nice offset. Okay. Haunted Chalk. Whenever an enemy die is converted, deals 12 purify to that enemy. Whoa. We can convert enemy dice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. That's cool.
We can even re-roll enemy dice. Photon Glove. Whenever you would deal 1 purify, deal 2 instead.
Okay. So it's like a small enhancement effect. I'm more of a fan of the first two here. I really am good with either of them.
I like the idea of Haunted Chalk because if someone's doing like a self-corruption of like 10, you convert that and then they take 12 and 10 immediately after.
Right. Well, okay, wait, hold up.
Yep.
Convert says convert dice from any type of corrupt action to the same type of purify. So we can't go from a purify action to a corrupt action, to be clear. But yes, corrupt to purify. Self-corrupt. Yes. I see what you're saying. Yes, I like this. This does seem strong. I agree with you. Yeah. Let's pop it.
Hell yeah.
And we have conversion actions, so it works.
We must pray for Astrea's help to recover 1 heart or sacrifice a heart for a boon. Well, do we want to die for a boon or gain a heart?
You mean to tell me that my choice is between losing the run or potentially not losing the run? Tough decision.
The enemy has Vengeful Stab.
I wasn't going to read it. I just liked the name. I just wanted to say the word.
Every 5th time you deal Purify to a Sanctuary Parasite, so this is the Sanctuary Parasite, imagine, immediately activates their die.
Oh, wow.
So we want dense, pure actions.
It's every 5th time. Right, which we're good at because we have like downfall dice and this corrupt 12 that we can convert into a purify 12. Like we're quite good at doing big damage numbers actually.
This is so good. The Elegy of Comprehension right now gives us a 12 on the risky, turns this into a 2 that we don't even have to cast, I don't think. Theirs becomes a purify action.
Oh wow, which then is good for us too. It does another 10. We don't want to use the reroll here, do we, before the corrupt? No, probably not. I thought about re-rolling to re-roll our 1 into potentially something better, but that's probably just a starter die.
Right.
Ooh. And we like this one has some strong re-rolls too. So there's a decent re-roll there, but honestly, holding re-roll to make sure that we have access to it, because now this turn is perfectly safe. And then next turn we can re-roll a bad downfall strike as an example. So that's quite good.
I like just leaving it here, like we did it.
Yeah.
That's so much damage.
I'm with you.
They also have Overcorruption. After 3 corruption on themselves, they will apply 1 doom to themselves, so they're just ramping up their damage. They healed both of us. Can't believe it.
Thanks for the healing.
Thanks for the healing, man.
Hey, there's the Black Hole Sun.
Won't you calm down? That's 14 damage! To wash away the vines! Black Hole Sun!
Do you want to draw an extra one?
I absolutely do. Do we want to use the base draw or the balanced die draw first?
I think we should do the base draw first. We're going to get all this stuff enhanced, right? So we might as well see what we've got going on. We've got other virtues available that we could spend, right? We could convert here. We could convert the enemies here, right? Oh, you want to reroll Bloody Moon Ray this turn? The other one?
I'm having a look at it because we do have a reroll 2 option available. And if the enemy gets any damage off, we will have access to reroll 2 immediately again next turn.
Yeah. So that one, and then what the other dead die that we have right now is the enhanced die. So do we have anything that it can reroll into, or do we have anything else that we could potentially reroll into a 1, I guess? Oh, is that a 1 draw too? Oh, we also have a draw die. Okay. So we can keep drawing.
Let's do that one first.
Yeah, I'm with you. Oh, okay. I got scared. I was like, does that draw for them? No. That was us drawing it.
They drew from our deck. How rude.
Yeah.
I don't think any of these actions are almost dense enough to care about anymore except for the risky die.
Oh, we can enhance the 1 to a 6. That's pretty good.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we drew. We. That's what I'm saying.
I saw the 6 and I wasn't instantly excited by it. I should have known.
Do we want to convert their thing to get another 10 damage from our hollow tube?
Yes, but let's do that, and then we can convert that. They'll take 10 damage, and then they'll deal 2 damage themselves at the start of the next turn.
And then they'll be dead.
Because this doesn't count as us. Wait.
Can we only... Dang. Okay, we that only lets us convert 1 die from your hand. Okay, well, that's an important lesson. Well, can we still get the kill, though? Maybe. We've got a 5 damage and a reroll. It's possible that we can still get there, no?
They'll immediately activate that. So if we deal the 5, they will immediately activate their turn, which is going to be the corrupt die. So they'll heal themselves 2.
Heal. Okay. So it'll be offset.
There might be a way to get the kill this turn, but I don't see it instantly.
Yeah, and I also don't think it's that important. We don't have any super strong reroll. Yeah, just purify ourselves and get some shield. Yeah, that seems good to me. I agree. I mean, yeah, what, convert a 3? It's just not that exciting, right?
Okay, good.
We're safe.
That gave the reroll back as well if we wanted to do that. Which Bloody Moon Ray would literally kill the enemy,
yeah.
But other than that,
we should reroll the Blood Moon Ray. Yeah, we should totally do it. We should totally do it.
Go.
And we don't even have to do both, I think, right?
We don't. I did, but we don't.
Okay. Convert it. Do the damage. Like, they're not going to get to the 5, right?
Because here's the thing, right? This refills at the end of every fight. So we have 3. This represents 5 damage, right? We do it to ourselves. We unlock Virtue. We do it again to the enemy. But
and then we would, yep.
Unfortunately, we're short.
Uh-huh. Barely. Okay.
Just a weensy
next
short.
turn. Just barely off. Well, we'll get him next time. Wow. Okay.
I think we've done well for a first
run. And we're going to get our hearts back at the end of this act, too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't be allowed to just take all the risky dice, but we sure did. 25, baby! Give him the nuke! Sweet dreams, sucker!
I mean, this enemy specifically works with what we have, which is when we purify, we do it in a chunk.
Yep. Oh, that's the demo!
Oh, hell yes!
Dang it. I want to continue my run!
We have more strategies we can engage in.
True. Tank strat.
I mean, Black Hole Telescope again, though, right?
I agree. I don't see a reason to... Yeah, it's just... It gives you so much direction. Right? And now we know more about it. That's so fun, Rhaps!
Absolutely.
I'm so glad that you want to do another run, because I want to do another run.
Hell
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a Nebula Rose. Draw an additional card. Apply 1 Thorn to a random enemy at the start of the fight. When purified by others, they receive corruption.
Source to receive corruption. Okay.
So 1 Thorn they would receive per purification.
But we also get another...
Shaded Memento. At the start of each battle, apply 2 hidden to all enemies, so we won't see what they roll for the first 2 turns, but we do get the additional die. And then finally, Quantic Fungus. Draw 1 additional die per turn. At the start of each battle, gain 4 Depolarized. Depolarized is your next X drawn die, so 4 will purify or corrupt actions will become Confuse, and Confuse has a 50% chance to do whichever.
Something will occur. I kind of want to play with that just because I think it's kind of hilarious.
I mean, like a good hilarious option.
Yeah, and also I actually think we can make this work. Like, now that I've seen a run of the game, as long as you're taking numbers less than 7, a little bit of corruption is not actually that scary. Because virtues are so strong, right? And if you are bouncing off of your own virtues, self-damage actually can become positive really fast. Fast, right? So I think we play around this, but this will incentivize us, as far as I can tell, to take more moderate dice. Not in terms of risk versus safe, but in terms of numbers, actual numbers. Like Downfall Strike here would be horrifying. This is not the
absolutely
run, right?
It doesn't help us against the health loss, but it absolutely harms us against the damage.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's take that Quantic Fungus, I think. We're ready to depolarize and confuse.
The council has deliberated and found Quantic Fungus worthy.
So
Okay.
what would we be confusing here? Risky is probably going to be a harder one. Refreshes all of your virtues, but otherwise you take damage or deal corruption to yourself.
We like moderate. Isn't that what we said? Moderate numbers.
Yes.
Like, if every number was just a 4, I would be really happy. Right? Or like a 3. So, but none of these dice are that strong.
Not particularly to start out with. Deals a purify to any target. Deals 2 additional purify for each die that has been converted so far this battle.
Our Quantic Fungus doesn't count as a conversion effect, does it? It's a confusion effect.
Yes, it's a confusion.
Okay.
And then safe for Scarlet Sigil, which means they will receive purify whenever we use a risky die.
Okay. Right. This was the thing we were talking about before. Scales based on having more risky die. So, honestly, I could see a skip here. I'm just not that impressed by any of these. The risky is not atrocious, honestly. I mean, with our virtues, it's only got one super downside side. And reactivate all your virtues. That's a really powerful effect. I mean, being able to cycle.
I'm happy to give it a go.
The corrupt sides are in the moderate range. It has one really scary side, but we also then have a risky die, and that's a natural upgrade target, right? Taking the take a damage side and upgrading that to be draw or something. Okay.
Ooh. Gain Moonlight whenever you use a hex die. Deals X Purify to all targets. And then there's another chance to go for more Allight charging, should we want it. Or roughness.
I could skip.
Let's do that. I didn't feel enthused about any of those.
I really didn't. I'm with you.
So an Axe 4 drawn with Purify or Corrupt actions will be confusers, so they are a 50% chance of doing either or.
I like how they did the iconography for this. That's nice. That's fun.
So we've an area effect of confusion as well, which we should probably fire off first if we are going to be firing that at all. Our virtues are all non-refreshed. We could even convert something and then refresh all our virtues first.
But what does converting a confused die do?
That is an excellent question. It will not let us do it.
It won't. Okay, but we can convert that one, and then will it become... Oh, it just is. It doesn't become confused. Okay, so that's good. Nice. And then we refresh, and now we have all of them. Well, that's kind of slick. Yeah. And so naturally, our virtues don't refresh at the start of fights. We had effectively a relic that did that right. What do they call them? Are they called telescopes? Are they called star maps? Are they called constellations?
Small telescope? I'm certain they have a name. We'll see it in the future.
Treasure,
Starlight something?
Item. Relic. Starlight. Starbright. Okay. Well, we just good from here, right? I mean, we can literally just play out our hand.
Well, we can, but I also want to see what happens if we re-roll.
Yes. That's good. That's good knowledge, yeah. And will it still have consumed the confuse?
So it still has consumed the confuse, but any side that can't be confused, nope.
Right. Oh, what is that? Just shows reroll. Oh, is that a reroll die?
Yep.
And so now we do it again on the one to its right. Oh, it makes the die. No, not to the left. The one that's just a 1. So it's gonna stay right. The confusion applies to the die for a round. I see what you're saying. Every confusable side of that die just is that way. Right, so here's the question. Will that still be the case? And yes. Answer is yes. Where's our total confusion amount? Is there like a buff on our body or a debuff somewhere that we can see?
I don't think we have any confusion left. I think we drew enough die that had the ability to be affected.
Okay, that we've spent it all.
Okay, we purify them. We can purify them again.
Okay, wow. Then it was a great turn. Go us.
Woohoo!
Woo! Wow, I feel like a much deeper understanding of the mechanics of this game now.
Yes. Now that we know that this 2 area effect, if it was ours, we know we would be able to fire off Purify twice here. We can fire it off twice.
Yeah. Although I do have one thing that I don't know, which is, Did we determine that you also refresh virtues by refilling the purity underneath them? In other words, when you gain corruption, they refresh, but do they also refresh when you purify yourself?
So we could theoretically test that here, but I also do have a scaffold for lethal.
Right. But with the 5 damage or something?
So it's 5 damage, 3 damage to ourselves, getting us the access to 5 damage again, and then that's a total of 18 full exact.
And then we're there. Yeah. Which is just too cool to pass up. I'll just pay attention. We're going to get that science. Actually, we should be repurified at the end of this fight, right? So we're going to get the science at the end of this fight.
Did I miscount there? What's up? 5, 5, 2, yeah, 18 health, 16 damage.
Well, then heal ourselves, because then we'll have lethal if it works, and that'll be knowledge percent. Okay, it does not. Okay, so it's only the corruption direction that refreshes your virtues. That's good to know. Yeah, and then we should. Oh no, did we lose a heart in the?
Over corruption. Oops. Tough stuff.
We didn't need that heart.
No. It was holding us back.
We had spare hearts at the end of the last run.
Let's go convert on this. We could, if we wanted to. Well, I mean, we can just do that and then get those
and
back
then refresh on the way out. Yep. And then we're clean for the next. That's a nice setup. Okay. Well, we learned a lot. I mean, and that's been my primary objective, right? I'm definitely treating this once again as a science opportunity. What is that risky face?
That's a great question. Precision. Choose a die face.
Oh, cool.
And the downsides are all just 1 damage corrupts, which could just be 50-50s.
It's not that bad. But we also have safe with the new moon ray.
Yes. So the 1 purify for each safe die you own.
Okay. To each target. And how many safe die does our deck start with?
Good question.
Fair few, right?
I believe possibly anywhere between 6 and 8. We have 9 die right now. I think we picked up 1.
Be takeable then, actually. And we can have a new moon run. Okay. I wish it were a new moon plus plus.
I think that's literally just like the cards across. So a balanced is plus and risky is always plus plus.
It is?
I mean, they've all followed this pattern so far of normal, plus, and then plus for the offers.
And maybe that's the upside for the risky one, is that it has, in theory, better numbers. Yeah. Wow, that safe die has very moderate numbers.
It does indeed. Moderate as hell.
So moderate. Unbelievably so. We could be taking more star shards too, actually. As I think about it, right? Because is that a choice at the end of fights, or are you getting all those things?
Oh, all of them. They're all just being collected by default.
Okay. That's good.
Despolarized.
Risk. Reward.
I mean, that'll unlock, in worst case scenario, that unlocks 2 things for us still.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Then we would need to purify ourselves back to be safe.
Yeah. Yeah, which we can do. Okay, I like it. Having lots of options which still keep us fairly safe, that's nice. We can re-roll stuff, I guess? Hand's just not that strong. I'm definitely feeling I wonder if we stumbled on just a pretty good strat on that first run. Genuinely. Because for all of the downsides of the risky die, their numbers are just bigger. And bigger numbers let you close fights, right? If you're like doing 2 damage and taking 2 damage and 1 damage, then enemies are healing themselves constantly in this game.
And consistently finding ways to ramp themselves up or you down over the course of the fight.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because they kind of get to double dip, right? They don't get to play with as many dice as you do, but they are healing and damaging in the same dice. So, well, hopefully we can get a nice big heal here. That counts. Do we Do we need to convert anything? We can't because they're confused.
Hmm.
That's too bad.
Hmm.
Actually, try that. Will it let us convert a confused die?
It won't even let me
right.
try and convert yet.
Yeah. Right,
So we
okay.
would have to heal with all 4 of these. So a 25% chance total that both of these heal us in order to get us back beyond a single life's worth of damage here.
Is the right one not an AoE?
No, this is just a safe die.
Oh. Okay. Why is it a different?
Has a different
icon?
border because it's safe versus a starter die.
Oh, okay. So that's just bordering that we're seeing. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, what? We've healed for 4. Okay. Well, we should try. Well,
25% chance does not work.
Then in that case, well, there's one more line, isn't there?
Is there?
Which was in case that was corrupt, to go heal, and then use it on ourselves and then draw. There was one more line.
Oh, yeah,
because
that is true. We could have drawn one more card out of that.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll deal 2 damage and then 3 damage to our next life.
Oh gosh. Then in which they probably will, right? This will be good science. I mean, I kind of want to know. They do.
Yep, and unlocked a bunch of abilities for us. How dare they? You don't even know what you've done.
Guess I'm gonna have to. Confusion has been more naughty than I expected, actually. But I think that's partly because of how much we've used it on self, I guess. Like in the beginning of the combat, if we just throw confused dice at the enemy, they don't have any value to heal, and so that takes some of the edge off. But it could build them towards over corrupt.
Yes, which we should probably be less scared of.
Right. Honestly, I think we've built up over corrupt to be. I think sometimes you just need to eat it. I think sometimes better than consistently eating our own corrupt and their corrupt, right?
I think I'm gonna reroll that one, see if we can get it any higher. Never mind.
Same. I'm same, you're same. We same.
And then if we heal that one, I think we'll be able to get it again next turn.
So I'm reading something here that's kind of interesting, which is that if you go heavy in on safe, it feels like the narrative, right? What you're saying is, I'm going to win with my virtues. Because the safe die just don't have big enough damage numbers to threaten the enemies enough. So you're basically using them to heal, right? And that means, though, that you are beholden to the scaling power of enemies. Because if enemies get to the point to where they can take out a whole heart in one turn, then there's nothing you can do. Which means if you're going to go the safe route, you really need debuffs too. Things that reduce the amount of damage you can take through shields, things that reduce the corruption of the enemies, things that let you fix enemy dice. Whereas the risky path is, I'm going to win with damage, but I also need ways to mitigate some of these downsides. That's kind of how it feels, right? So, kind of like, I really like using the Watcher here to think about this, probably because I've spent more hours playing Slay the Spire than like any other single activity in my life. But Wrath is the risky path for sure, right? Like, I'm going to be taking more damage, but I can close fights. That's the trade-off.
We need to find what plugs into our Wrath here. Where's our Tantrum?
Well, there's a Tantrum in that card, but that's, Okay.
It's also
Paralyzed Hex die.
Yeah, it's Paralyzed Hex die, a die that reduces your draw amount at the start of your turn. Oof.
Into your draw pool. Wait. Into your draw pool.
Why would we want that?
Can we give that to the enemy? No,
we apply
right?
Serenity to the target, but we add into our draw pool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
And I mean, it's purify receive. So basically what it's saying is that Serenity is powerful enough that it's worth reducing the efficacy of your draw. That's what this suggests.
I mean, if after this we play a Purify 1, it has at least tripled.
Doubled in value. Yeah.
I can see it.
I almost want to try this just to see like why is that acceptable, right? Use a hex die deals, and then that opens us up. I mean, we've got hex die at that point, so right.
That gives us the option again. Convert 1 die from your hand this turn, as well as a bunch of 1s. Same
Convert is
Eclipse die again.
surprisingly awkward because of the quantic fungus, right? We have this turn, this very crucial turn, to where convert can be a completely dead action because we just have confused dice.
Yeah, which is also a bit of a trouble for our character who wants to convert every turn.
Right. Exactly.
I think we go all in on the Eclipse Gazing.
Okay.
Is Serenity's that good?
We're pretty much dead anyway, so why not? We should do the thing which we don't understand why it's a good option. Right? Like, it seems like it's not strong enough, so let's see if that's true.
In that same realm, I don't know what a Sentinel does yet.
Yeah, we should figure that out.
Do we want to get a 2 dice or 2 balanced dice first?
2 dice. I just want to see 2 dice. Maybe we'll take some shards. Open Sesame. Do you think there's a different animation if we get like a lucky pool? What is that?
We haven't seen an epic one yet.
Balance?
Mind Wreck. Deal 4 purifying to all targets as a adds a Diddy Kong hex die into your draw pool.
Diddy Kong.
A die with different types of corrupt faces and a single random purify face.
Okay.
Over here in the risky, we have the Serenity on the target, which again, more. And area effects purify.
Which is actually not bad if we are stacking Serenity, right?
That is very true.
But we don't have area Serenity.
These are all area purify as well, including to ourselves.
Right.
I like Mind Wreck, I think.
It's into your draw pool. I mean, our deck is big enough that we might not even ever see this die. Yeah.
We can only
We're pretty much in one cycle mode right now, right?
This is your 50-50 moderate.
No lie. There it is. Truly moderate. Okay, we'll take it.
I like
Everybody, that's like a great turn 1 die for us. That's exactly what we wanted to see.
Misa found some really good stuff, sir. Enhance your die. They have 1 and 3. Or Chant Pylon likes to copy. Oh, okay. So each turn, it looks like they will be rolling one of their own die.
Okay.
And it's either going to be the Charge Pylon for the copycats or enhancing a die from Purify 1 to 6.
You want to do that?
Purify or the other one, sorry?
You see, what I did is I said you want to do that because then it would allow you to pick either of them and then we would be in agreement.
I like
do
Copycat.
That. Okay. I like Copycat too. Yeah, let's do that.
Hey!
I don't think we have enough. You know what? I like Copycat better than the enhancement, and the reason that I like it is that we don't have that many one purifies, and also with Serenity, do they stay ones? And also Confusion.
That's
and
three excellent reasons, and there's another?
There's no more. I just wanted to say one more thing.
One more thing. There is the ability to upgrade these.
Oh.
Buy a new set.
We don't have enough.
Ah, yes. Cost 200 for the upgrade. We don't have it. Oh, well.
So that's one thing that's interesting is I definitely get the sense that if we played this a lot, planning for the map up ahead based on hitting certain thresholds is something you can do. Because we now know how much Sentinels cost. At least those two are both 150, and upgrading them is 200. So if you want to hit and upgrade a Sentry, then you're going to need at least 350, which means we would need to hit 1 or 2 of the shard nodes. And given how weak the early game dice are, that's probably acceptable, you know?
Reasonably.
Reasonable.
They're just doing corruption to us. Yes.
Okay. What did their dice do? Are they AoE corrupt or just
so far? That is 3 corruption to us and Doom, and then this is
Doom.
Wound Hex die.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with the 3 here because if it purifies them, it's nice. If it corrupts them, they deal 3 damage back to us. We get access to both virtues.
Yep. And then we can always heal. Nice. That's the play. Keep
But,
going.
Yeah, now we just have the ability to double down on that. Wow, all of its Purify.
Nice. Have you ever thought you were confused, but really, you're not?
Turns out you knew what was going on the entire time.
You knew exactly what was happening. Wow, that was, you know? It
Can
does
hardly
happen.
argue with that.
It does happen. 1 in 16 is not that rare.
Okay, this is something I wanted to confirm as well. So the front target did 2 Doom to us, which increases die corrupt amounts by X. However, the second did not then deal that extra 2 to us.
Interesting.
Oh, no, because the corrupt is ours.
Ah, right. It is a buff or debuff to the effect of our dice.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. It doesn't buff them. Yeah, that would be way too strong, right? If they could just give themselves +2 damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's unacceptable tier strength, right? Oh, but we have a convert, don't we?
We do indeed. Refresh your virtues as well.
Okay.
And the ability to convert the die in our hand. So I think
Let's
we
do
should...
that, because it's
5...
huge. Excuse me.
Convert.
I'm sorry, I keep... For whatever reason, I trimmed my mustache recently, and since then my nose has only itched. And I have no clue why. Usually the opposite happens. You trim your mustache and then your nose quits itching, but it probably has to do with these spore throwers.
You're cultivating spore throwers up in
there? They're visible right there, Rhapsody, making my nose itch.
Oh, see,
they're here.
I apologize. They were just colors and shapes to me at this point. I still haven't grokked really what the enemies are.
I see. That's a good point. And you know, they might not be throwing spores. It kind of looks like they might actually be throwing little limbs. It could be anything in there.
Ooh, our shield. Actually, the shield is kind of good for us right now.
You turn into colors and shapes that fast? Having played one demo run, all things on screen have now just become ideas.
As all things do.
As all things do.
I don't know if I want to re-roll that, though. Let's refresh the virtues after re-rolling, I think, these 2.
You could re-roll the re-roll. And just the re-roll. And keep the Purify all, I guess. It's not that bad.
That's true, but it's 1 Purify. That's the lowest result on that entire die. 4 Purified Wall!
Yeah, that seems much better. No, I'm with you. What you've done is an improvement, substantially.
Bring it back. And then I think actually we murder you.
We could get a kill. Nice. I was gonna say we can probably lethal one of these. I love the way they jump and run. It's so cute.
You're really good at that sound effect as well, by the way. It's like a little bounce in like
it's the Mario bounce.
Say yes. I was gonna say in a GameCube game because it's got some roundness to it still.
Right. In some kind of funny. But I get it, but there's a theme to it, right? It's not just cute. Is the concept not that we are going through a corrupted landscape and purifying the flora and fauna? And then as they become purified, they're like, oh God, was I ravaging the townspeople? Apologies.
Yes. That's one of the reasons that I wanted the little like story-ish tutorial that I'd seen in the first fight of the demo I'd played to play, because it explains to you that kind of thing, because you do it to another character who speaks and goes, oh, I lost my mind for a moment there, and you describe the corruption.
Dang. Guess people will have to pick up the demo on Steam and wishlist it in order to experience that lovely sequence.
Oh, boy.
Sometimes the things I say, it's like, why... People aren't going to believe me when I finally do get paid to do something, because it sounds like I'm getting paid all the time, right? It's like every game I play sounds like I'm sponsored. It's like, what do you do when they pay you? This game is pretty bad, to be honest.
Yeah, you have to completely invert it. That's the only thing you can do.
I specifically negotiated my contract such that I could be cruel about this game. Hex life.
Ah, purified ourselves.
This is so curious. This is so curious. It's just funny. This is why I like to play new games like this. To go into a run, acknowledge that you have no idea what's going to be strong, and do something specifically that you think is going to be too extreme. Because I really do think we might have just stumbled on a pretty effective strat. I really think taking risky die, at least in Act 1, at least in the demo as it stands, I think taking fairly risky die is just pretty effective because of how quickly it allows you to move. Sitting here and taking a million effects from this enemy, it's not going to be good. But that being said, we haven't really been threatened yet, right? Yet.
Not over much, no. Copy one from my hand and roll it.
We can always re-roll it again. We have the power to do that.
Let's do that.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. And we can convert one of our 5s too. That's not a bad turn, actually. So do we want to do small self-damage before we drop these self-heals? Reactivate the 5?
Love it.
Now we're thinking with power.
So put the 5 out there. We'll also take the draw. Getting, ooh, interesting. Gain 1 paralyzed. Most faces have that. Paralyzed, draw less die next turn.
I was like, weird, we rolled a Pack Sun shirt? What is this?
It's a Purify, as it turns out. The whole time.
You know what? Not so bad when you put it that way.
Heal ourselves entirely back up in the corruption bar. We've got the individual text die for that as well. We could take another 3 to do another virtue to them, I think.
And then just heal twice. Convert this 5.
Yes.
Did we want to convert the 5 first? Does that get refreshed when we take damage, or is the one on the right just once per turn? Is that what we determined?
I don't know if that would have refreshed after the damage. I assumed it wasn't yet refreshed. Oops.
Yeah.
But it does come back every turn regardless.
Yeah, so that might be special. That might be just that's your turn 1, and the others are your corruption meter 1.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why this game is eluding terminology to me. I've gotten down to thing, stuff, and 1 at this point. It's the one on the right with the... You click the middle and the... Oh my, that's a turn.
Yeah.
Can't be too worried about it yet.
I think we just convert that and then murderize.
And go ahead and win. I think I like that path. Let's go ahead and... So the copycat is interesting in that you don't actually copy the die face. Maybe the upgraded does that. I bet it does. I bet the upgraded one is like copy, or it adds more copies. I don't know. Dark Enlightenment. That sounds like the name of my MySpace. I like that. What does that do?
My twisted mind. Gain 3 doom, refresh your virtues. The doom is the increase of the dice corruption amount.
Okay.
These also being corruption itself.
And refreshing your virtues means that we can then reroll the stuff, but it's got another heart damage. So scary. What about bookish? What's book people do?
Gain research increases the effectiveness of enhance.
Increases enhance effectiveness, and enhance is the 1 to 6, so it'll become 1. But do they always have to start at 1? So that's a very specific build. That's like we carry the small people, and it's almost like a tokens build, right? Like, well, they were 1/1, but now they're 7/7 flyers. Okay. Well, I don't know. None of these are that. I was kind of excited about the risky one until I saw that it has more chances to kill ourselves, and we just don't have any hearts.
Yeah. Apply 2 Twilight Sigil. They receive Purifying whenever a die is converted. We do some converting, but again, not on the first turn. I would happily take gold.
Yeah, I like gold. I love gold.
Gold. Ooh, safe. This is just purify of reasonable numbers to an enemy. We also have the ability to defend ourselves as well as draw on this die, or reasonable amounts of corruption. That's also pretty good. And then the serenity.
And arguably, corruption is slightly improved for us, small numbers, because of confusion.
Yes.
Like a weird angle, but an angle that I'm going to take.
Where's the corruption? Right.
Right, so that's going to say that's going to actually say deal 1 corruption 50% of the time to all targets, deal 1's purify 50% of the time to all targets.
One thing
which takes the edge off.
One thing we have run into is because we get 4 depolarized at the start of the battle, and that confuses the next 4 dice that have the ability to be confused. A lot of the dice that have been confused just have confused faces for all of them, whereas balanced, it can't change the light shields or the draw, but it'll still use the confusion.
Yep. I definitely feel like I'm over fixating on this confused effect, but it's interesting, right? It's interesting. I'm just exploring synergies.
Well, I mean, the only
we don't
turn...
have to think our whole deck aligns with it, but still, it's cool to think about.
It doesn't have to entirely align with it, but the only turn that you know you're going to have in every single fight is the first turn.
Turn 1, right.
Ooh! At the end of draw phase, you can reroll all of the dice on your hand. Just
every turn?
Apparently.
Like that, actually.
It doesn't seem to have a limit.
Okay.
Ritualistic Feather. Whenever an enemy becomes over-corrupted, we gain 4 Doom, which increases our corruption amount if we're using that for damage. Which we are a little bit when we convert. When we convert, by the way, it sets. So we had, 4 Doom, increasing a 2 corrupt to a 6 corrupt. And then when we convert, it's a 6 purify.
Yep, but if you ever can't convert, you do die.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you can heal the enemy, right? So you can just eat it. So it's not so bad.
Forgotten Letter is whenever you or your Sentinels corrupt an enemy with at least 3 corruption, convert that enemy die.
Oh. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
Because so they don't have to have 3 or more corruption and then you corrupt them. It's you use 3 or more corruption on them and then that convert.
Yep.
I like it a lot more now.
Which plays nicely with our confusion because we can just target them in the beginning and
it does, and I'm super about it.
Actually, though, I think that's the big learning lesson from the end of the last and the first half of this run is that taking some over corruption is not the end of the world, and it's tactically valid in many cases rather than exposing yourself to a hard loss. Just eat the heal, let the enemy heal up a bit and take a little bit, but take less.
I like the idea of going for the Sentinel shop to see if we can get the upgrade and then the epic die.
An epic. Okay, and we haven't seen one, so
exactly.
Okay.
Get to see more new stuff. Oh, I guess we could have gone on either side down here, but I just chose the star shards. Oops.
Well, that's okay. We've got more for the next life.
Someone always told me it's a very famous idiom. You can take it with you.
That's right.
You're allowed.
That is what they say. You may.
No corruption here, says Dice Drive. Apply incorruptible. Block all corruption until end of turn.
From that one die.
Yeah.
It's on any target. Oh, on any target.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, can we put that on ourselves?
Yep.
And then we can't. Oh, that's kind of sweet. Okay. But wait, we got to look at the upgrade.
We absolutely
because we just need to know how big it is. Oh. Do you have to?
No, we left. Technically, we can't
No. It's okay. That's it. This is a deeply held request in games like this. Let me reopen the shop.
Yeah.
It's the worst feeling. It happens in many games. It comes from an honest place of pacing and simplicity, but please let me reopen the shop. Because it's so common to like escape out to try to look at your deck or something and then say bye to the node.
It feels like every time a game comes out that hasn't got that, 2 patches in, it's like one of the most requested things that it gets added.
Yes, absolutely. They'll get it.
Baleful Hoot. Purify to any target and gain Doom. Or Void Seek. Choose a card from the discard to draw and roll. Worst case scenario, 3 Purify.
Any card from the discard to draw and roll?
Any die
wow.
from the discard.
I like both of these a lot. I even like that Baleful Hoot. I think that's pretty cool. Like we've shown that we can actually deal with some Doom. But this is more like you're doing Doom synergy, right? So we don't have because we didn't buy a conversion sentinel or something. Yeah, maybe we go for the targeted draw. Yeah,
I like it.
I like it,
especially because
it's cool. Those dice are powerful, but more than anything, what they are is consistent. Very consistent dice, right? More so than the other ones.
Vengeful Stab, so we have the same end boss.
Vengeful Stab's going to be harder for this run.
They'll apply 1 doom to themselves every time they overcorrupt by taking 3 corruption.
Okay. So here we do have to be a little careful about corrupting them like crazy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do some rerolls. That would be a good reroll target.
It would indeed. I mean, we are already incentivized.
Mm-hmm.
We should probably start with that on this at least. Do we want to increase the amount? Or
Maybe
do we
that
want to
one.
get a different effect, possibly?
Wah.
To all enemies. Okay. I think maybe we should start with a light shield.
Ourselves? Yeah.
Oh, actually, sorry. We should use the Sentinels die to copycat here.
Right. Maybe the one with the moon glow?
The one with the moon glows, right? Ah, yes.
Or that? Yeah. Yeah. Right? Because it gets re-rolled, no? There we go. Now we finally actually get it. I guess adding paralyzed hex die is not so great in a longer fight, huh? I didn't think about that. Well, hopefully the Serenity will offset. I mean, we do have to scale our damage here. We're just it's gonna be death by vengeful stabs, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it, right? I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough, but we're gonna kind of need to.
Mm-hmm.
So we did the reroll. Okay. Then it's
Did we take the thing that lets us re-roll every turn? No, we took the thing that gave us... We took the envelope. What does envelope do? Our relic.
The envelope is whenever you or the Sentinels corrupt an enemy with at least 3, convert the enemy die.
Oh! Then we should target them with all 3 of these. Because if we do happen to overcharge them, then we also offset. And otherwise, we don't hit them, their overcharge. We have to cast them, right? Because they have a chance to be negative.
Yes, we do have to cast them. 1 torment to any target, increasing the corruption received by X. I wonder if maybe that's best played on our
Sentinel. Yeah, and just like set it up to...
Just because that's not going to disappear and they would be able to consistently benefit from it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought that die was a potential corruption die, and I was like, well, we could just potentially do... Yeah. Okay, now I understand.
Do we care more about
targeting them?
Yeah. Okay.
Because they already have Serenity, so if it hits the 2, it's good, and if it hits the 1, you know, it's not a big deal.
All right.
Effective turn 1. I mean, not a lot of damage, but we got Serenity. We did a little setup. We got rid of all of our confusion, so now we have a little bit more control. We took advantage of our virtues, and now we'll have even more of the same.
Significantly more control on the field now. So they're going to be dealing 3 damage to all targets, including themselves,
which means
gaining
they'll
1
kill
doom.
the Sentinel. Actually.
Yes, it does mean they would do that.
Is there a way we can stop them?
2 purify to all targets. Changing the effect of that would do it. So if we rerolled anything up to like 3 damage, gain paralyzed. I mean, we got the best side possible on that.
Right.
We could re-roll the mass heal as well as Mindrek's actually on one of its best faces right now.
Yeah.
No, one of its worst faces.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and we didn't hit the new moon too. We have a lot of effective rerolls here, actually.
We could also just consider re-rolling theirs.
Yeah. Not with this effect, right? Because this only lets us reroll our stuff, but...
This one is no, this one would allow us
any target. Oh, okay.
So yeah, reroll up to 2.
Okay.
It's convert that we can only do in our hand.
Okay. Rerolling their die actually seems pretty sick. I like that. Do we have? But then how do we pick which thing we're gonna reroll? I guess just that one. Okay. Well.
Ah, yes. So 3 corruption to all targets.
So now we kill it. Wait, can we convert that? Convert it.
Yes, we can convert it. And should do. They will apply 1 minimize to us. Next X purify dealt to you or reduced by 1. Okay, so it's next X. It's not a permanent reduction for us.
We will want to try to heal ourselves, and we'll get 2 here at least. But Yeah, that seems like a sick conversion. Nice.
They are about to use their ability in Vengeful Stab.
And then we'll try to heal it. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because that sets us up to use our abilities again. So maybe we do one heal first to reactivate the reroll? And then use it? See what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
we heal ourselves, then we...
Yeah, I like that a lot more. That is one thing, right? Because we have all of these dice, they can be played in all of these different orders, they can be played on so many different targets, and the abilities that they create are created by a balance of a bar that then can target any of the other targets as well.
The combinatorics are insane, right? There's like probably literally billions of paths through the turn. Like literally. Right. Our human brains will conveniently prune it down to just thousands.
Thanks, brain.
Thanks, brain. You did great.
I think the one we want to reroll the most of these two.
Okay. And we have the Sentinel die as well.
Very true. Okay. Do we care about the small amounts, or do we maybe want to reroll those?
We could reroll it. Yeah, we could reroll theirs in the hope of getting the double purify, right? Because now we can copycat our, well, either of them, whichever we want.
Oh, we only have two safe die. Oh, we start with starter dies, not safe die.
They're not count. Okay, that was the question, right? Do they count as safe or do they count as starter? So that's really weak. So we should reroll the other one, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Not a bad turn. All things considered.
Do we want to do 4 more damage as well as gain a Dizzy Hex dice ourselves this turn?
I might do 2 more damage and not gain a Dizzy Hex.
Yeah,
right?
I like that.
Like, we'll still take advantage of Serenity. We have to push.
Comfy middle ground.
But, yeah, exactly. Okie dokie. We haven't done any corrupting.
We're finally rolling the epic die.
Nice. And it gave us a 3. It's kind of a simple roll for an epic die, right? But I mean, that's what it does.
Can hardly complain. There's a big old vengeful
How do we approach this one? Oh, we also hit the one that lets us draw and re-roll a die from our discard. So that's pretty sweet. Certainly, we're always going to do that. The question is...
Did we? Is
that not the right die?
No, this is just draw.
Draw. Okay, that's just straight up draw. Never mind. Apologies. Oh, that was the epic die? Yeah.
Yes, it would be a different face on this epic die.
Okay. Right.
I mean, we can defend ourselves to the tune of basically all of their incoming damage and just throw damage at them this turn, which I think might be right.
Yeah. Are we going to re-roll any of our dice? Probably. Maybe the Sentinel's dice. Maybe not that one. Not really that one. Honestly, 3 is just pretty fine, right? Like, we don't have a good enough deck to seek anything. We didn't upgrade any dice. We're mostly starters and a couple kind of safe and moderate die, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess we could re-roll like our first die and the Sentinel's die. That's not a horrible re-roll. Or maybe this one. Or we could convert that.
We could convert
that.
We could try and roll it first. But I guess the worst case scenario is we hit dissolve life.
Worst case scenario is quite bad, actually. Yeah.
Let's just go with the convert on that then.
Okay.
This is now 3 purify to ourselves. And
nice.
They are going to respond. Yeah, it's going to be fine. Okay. Damage.
Then we hit them one more time. They damage us. And then
they try.
Heal. They want to damage us, but they will not be allowed to do so.
They intended to.
I do understand now why, like, I'm getting the Serenity thing right.
Mm-hmm.
We played one die one time, and it has effectively doubled our damage.
Yes.
Especially in the early game, it's just strength, right?
It has
Straight
been
up.
exceptionally effective. Ooh, another copycat. An enhanced we can't play
enhanced.
on anything just yet.
Not yet, but we can convert that 1 into a 1 and make it into a 6.
Exceptionally true.
There's some lines, yeah, and then re-roll the others, or what? Yeah.
So 2 purify on all target as well. Okay.
Can enhance work on multi-targets?
Yes, it's a purify 1 of any type.
Okay, so we could enhance the AoE. Oh no, that's torment. That's not the
Yes, this one unfortunately is torment. I think we should probably re-roll the torment as well as the left side dizzy die.
Okay, I'm good with it.
Actually, hang on. 4 corruption to any target. So the 4 corruption would then convert the enemy's yeah, that's not worth doing. It is a tech play in an instance, but not this one.
Yeah, it would be interesting to show that off, right? I'm with you. I'm glad that we've been able to keep our Sentinel alive this whole time rather. It's quite a lot of value. Okay, another Serenity and then we push.
It has been huge.
Even more?
Serenity!
Even more Serenity!
Serenity now! It's a reference for my boomers in the crowd. What up?
Okay. We're in here fully.
Absolutely. We're in the thick of it. Okay. So this is 3 corruption to a random target. We have the ability to convert that if we wanted to, but we want to convert this so we have the ability to enhance it still.
Let's do it.
Do that. That increases.
And if we happen to kill our Sentinel at this point, we'll just eat it. I mean, we could have given them shield, actually, but...
I think they've given us more than enough value to die now.
Yeah.
You die now. Oh, we purified it as well. It all works out in the end.
Then that activated our thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we come out. So that's pretty cool. That means that the enemy heal is completely offset.
They're going to take 5 damage to their own attack.
Oh, we actually gained damage by corrupting them. Okay, that's really cool. Using Serenity and the envelope to cause the enemy to kill themselves.
Yep.
I'm not touching you. I mean, that's pretty sweet, actually. Wow, we're going to convert this, aren't we? I'm not going to lie. I thought there was a decent chance we'd lose this run. About halfway through, I was like, ooh, it's looking kind of rough.
So I think something you brought attention to very early on, right? And it was reinforced by the depolarized is this idea of moderation, right? And then when we have effects that are moderate in our deck, as well as diverse, right? So they're moderate in number and diverse in effect, we have the ability to just jump up and down between these two. And if we're just constantly re-rolling 2 die and dealing 5 damage, that's more effective than most die.
Good. Yeah, that's pretty good by itself. Like the virtue, and maybe that's how this character plays, right? Maybe that's the reason this is the starter character.
Yeah.
Is that their virtues can carry your deck. And in fact, the deck really should just be carrying the virtues. Right? Like, or supporting the virtues, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Second.
No sweat. Yeah. I wonder if... Do we have lethal, or are you counting?
Yeah, I think we do have lethal, because the corrupt die gives us the ability to deal the 5 from that, and then, like, they've got yeah, literally, we definitely do have lethal.
You can corrupt them, and they will die to themselves.
That will be dealt to me. So they last time did AoE.
No. Okay, so that would just cause them to heal you. Well, that's cute, but yeah. No, do the plan. Do the plan. I like it. I like the plan. Plan makes us win, and so I mean, it's it's got to be decent.
Take that damage and then murder that man.
Actually,
I'm gonna murder you with the hex die. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Rhapsody. That was so lovely.
That was
both
great.
of our runs, they were so different, and they were effective in different ways. And in both of the runs, I thought we were doing something really stupid. I really did. I was like clicking every risky die, probably dumb, and it actually was okay.
That's the reason I wanted to mention the oh god, I lost the thing immediately. The
polarization, virtue. The tutorial.
Instantly forgot it.
It's gone. It's It'll be back.
There's a diversity of available runs in here as well. It's
yes,
so nice. We have a lot. Oh, really sorry. Fun. That's why I wanted to make so much. Sorry, I do apologize. No, I just got the point. That's why I wanted to make so much point out of the combinatorics of like the amount of different things that you have the ability to do, right? Because the game obviously has the level of, you know, you're picking 3, you've got the map of diversity of 2, but like the in-play changes that you make are infinitely large. You could have a program go through it forever and you'll probably still not be able to optimize it perfectly.
This is the kind of game to where I am likely to enjoy doing challenges that restrict my macro decision-making ability to reinforce my micro, right? So, sorry, we're like concluding this episode, but this is something that I really like in games. So I've talked about this in auto battlers, like when we played Astronarch. Auto battlers restrict the micro, which opens up space to really focus on macro level strategy. You can't control the battle, right? But in a game like this, where the combinatorics of the fight is so ridiculous, it makes you wonder, does that mean that almost every decision is viable and it's just a matter of operating within that massive space? So do a run where you always pick the left eye. Do a run where you always do X. Do runs to where you restrict your decision making on the macro side to see if you can then navigate on the micro side out of that reality, right? This would be a perfect game for that kind of challenge.
And although I will note, there are apparently after that going to be more floors. So the difficulty would improve, but I imagine the power level of the character would improve and the synergies you'd be able to have access to would improve as well. That was great fun, bud.
That was really fun. This was a good one.
That old link for the game on Steam, as well as the demo, if you are watching this relatively close to the period of time after which it has come out, well, that's going to be linked in the description down below, as well as the channel of my compatriot here, Sneaky Teak. Teak, what have you been doing recently over there?
Yes, actually, I'm glad you asked that. So first of all, I have a YouTube channel. In the past, I, tried to pretend that I didn't make content out of some feigned humility. I do actually make content. I make a lot of it, and it's a ton of work. So go subscribe to my YouTube channel, you nerds, because there's good stuff on there. But more importantly, this week, the Rogue Stream Fest, what's it called? Going Rogue. Is live. I have owed my audience on Twitch a dimathon for quite a while. I've done these like DIY dimathon things to where we collect a bunch of games and trailers and then check them all out in one big night. And I'm planning to do that this weekend as well, hopefully on Sunday, whatever that is, May 9th, I want to say. So that's what's planned. A bunch of Peglin and Rogue Legacy 2 and Slay the Spire and stuff over on my YouTube channel, and then some upcoming demos and indie gems, hopefully on Twitch. So lots of things. And I'm renovating my bathroom. And I have a dog.
Well, you can find a link to the Twitch and the YouTube. I don't think you can find a link to the bath. You can't hyperlink to a bathroom. They just don't allow you to do that. Update hyperlink protocol.
I wouldn't allow you to do it. That is, after 6 months of renovation, ain't nobody getting a hyperlink but me, baby. I mean, like.
Very, very fair.
It's going to be me. Yeah.
Hold the moment,
GG, Rhaps.
GG.
What are you doing?
Me? Elden Ring. Elden Ring and Aeon's End with Rito at the moment. Both super
Aeon's
enjoyable.
End is so cool, by the way. A friend of a friend like designed that game, so I really do think it's quite cool that you're playing it.
Incredible. It's one of those ones as well that I started playing, and then immediately a bunch of people that I respect the opinion of on game design in my audience were like, "Oh my god, I love this game. Why are you? What? How did this happen?" It's just like, well, Rito said that it's good, and then we played it.
It's the deck builder tabletop game. I mean, it's quite, it's solid. Yeah.
I'll say it's co-op Dominion. It's co-op Dominion, basically. Just in case that entices anyone for the moment, though. My name is Rhapsody. His name has been Sneaky Teak. This has been Rhaps Teak. Take a peek. Hopefully y'all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see y'all.
That was meant to be a high five. That came out weird. There was some arm stuff going. High five. Wave.
Adios.